Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent Training. Welcome to our Word of the Day series, where we look at a new word or sometimes a couple of words each day, teach you how to pronounce them correctly in American English, and show you what accent error patterns you might have or you might need to watch out for when pronouncing these words and similar words. Today's words were requests from, one was from a YouTube viewer and one was from a Facebook viewer, but the words are somewhat related, so we're going to talk about two words in one day. We're going to talk about the word memorable and the word reasonable. And there's a reason that these are similar. They do have the same ending with able, able, and that's a common suffix in American English and can be challenging to pronounce, so that might be partly why these words were requested. We're also going to look at the syllables in these words, so how the rhythm of the words can be different. And both of the words have two different correct pronunciations in American English. So let's take a look. First, the word memorable. When I look at this word in the dictionary, I can see that it has first syllable stress. So I see the little line before the syllable mem. That means that mem is long and able is short. Those are short and unstressed syllables. The vowel in memorable is the same as in memory or men. It's vowel the same vowel in our anchor phrase red tent. You can see more help for pronouncing this vowel in my vowels playlist. Look for the red tent video. And similar to other words that we looked at in Words of the Day, in this word, the OR says the sound. So the first way we could say the word memorable has four syllables, memorable. So we have the mem is long, the OR says and then the letter A says the vowel schwa, sounds like and then we have bull, the BLE ending. So this has a B sound and a syllabic L, which is a dark L with a small schwa before it. I'm going to write it like bull, but I also want you to think about it as though you're almost doing no vowel there at all. I just want to go right from the B to the ul, and my ul just needs my tongue in a similar position as it was for this schwa sound. Oh, so the back of my tongue stays down, the front lifts up to finish and close off the L. You might want to build it from the back. Bull, a bull, erable, memorable. You can also pronounce this word carefully and slowly, one syllable at a time, and speed up. So trying all of the different sounds. Mem, bull, memorable, memorable. Americans will often reduce this even further, so we have these unstressed syllables. Oftentimes in American English, rather than being memorable with four syllables, they'll pronounce this as memorable, memorable. So only two unstressed syllables. That's this definition here, memorable, in which case my mem stays the same. It's stressed and long. But my and my change to a one syllable. This might be easier for you. For some people, doing is more challenging than just because this one is more like vocalic R. This one is more like initial R. It's starting on the R. So memra, and then my last syllable again is the same, bull, memorable. I recommend trying this one if possible, because it's anytime there are fewer syllables in connected speech can be more fluent. However, both are correct. So whichever one is easier for you to say is the one that you should practice. When you can say memorable or memorable correctly and accurately by itself, then begin to try to use it in some phrases. For example, 2020 has been a memorable year so far. That was a memorable event. It was a very memorable incident. Our second word for today is the word reasonable. Reasonable. And it, as we said in the beginning, reasonable also has the ABLE ending. And it has either 3 syllables or 4 syllables, just like memorable. So in reasonable, I have first syllable stress, reasonable, and tense E vowel. The S says Z in this word, reason. The O says schwa, and I have my another schwa and my dark syllabic L at the end. Reasonable. So this is the way with 4 syllables. If I want to pronounce it with 3 syllables, which is how I would say most Americans do in connected speech, reasonable, and this schwa or this O sound drops off. So that would sound like reasonable, reasonable, long, short, or I can do reasonable, which has the same pronunciation as the word reason. Again, I would recommend trying to do reasonable if you can do that reduction and say that fluently and easily. It's very reasonable to pronounce it this way. I think it's very reasonable to take precautions and stay at home. You're not being reasonable right now. Those are some examples of how to use it in a short phrase. Thank you for those great suggestions. That made me think a little bit about, again, our idea of words that can be pronounced with 3 or 4 syllables. There's some other words like that. If you go to my channel page, Speech Modification Seattle, if you go to our community page, you'll see that today's poll is about these kinds of syllables. So you'll see that on the channel page, we have a community page, and I often have these short little daily quizzes, sneak previews of upcoming lessons and classes, and it's a great place to check your skills and to see some other resources for information that might be helpful for you. So I highly recommend going to the channel page, checking that out. If you have a request or suggestion for word of the day, you can put that in the comments of this video or any of my videos, also in the comments on Facebook. I have a nice long list now of wonderful suggestions from all of you. So I'll be continuing these Word of the Day series for quite some time to be able to handle all of those requests. I think it's great because the things that you would like help with help not only you, but other people. They also help me know what topics to cover in my free classes and what new videos to make. Thank you so much for those. I see a question from Wendell. He wants to know if teen numbers have 2 pronunciations depending on the context of the sentences. Yes, they do, Wendell. So if I'm saying 14, 15, 16, then I'm stressing the first syllable. If I'm saying I have 14 of them, I'm stressing the second syllable, teen. I do have a video about talking about pronouncing numbers, and it uses examples like 40 versus 14. You may have already checked that out, which might be why you have that question. If you have other questions, please do attend our Friday question and answer class. That'll be in 2 days on Friday. It's at 12 o'clock Seattle time, 3 o'clock Eastern time. And there I take all of your questions regarding anything to do with American English pronunciation and intonation. And often we also talk about difficult words. So I look forward to seeing everyone there. If let's see, that's I guess all I wanted to say. So thanks so much for being a part of class today and every day. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound American, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.